This week on the show, we have host of the Making It in Japan podcast, singer, songwriter, voice actress. Yeah, that's right, the voice of the iDroid, Donna Burke.
You're listening to the Kojima Frequency.
Hey, I'm Fingers.
Hey everyone, this is Days Ahead.
And I'm Nitroid. You're listening to the Kojima Frequency. I'm
Archie's
technologically challenged here.
Oh, there's RG.
Oh, hey buddy.
Yeah, he's listening in.
That's awesome. Yeah, we normally
Who
just...
am I talking to?
I'm Fingers.
Who's the lovely your Fingers? Hi.
That's
And?
Days Ahead.
Yep, I'm Days. Hello.
Is that your name, Days? I call you Days.
That's my misnomer, if you will. If you want to call me Days, Chelsea.
All right, no.
The show calls me Days, but
No, I'm calling you Days. Yep. And whereabouts are you, Days?
I'm actually in Virginia, if that's what you're asking.
That's what I'm asking. Although we'll have to edit that out because that's top secret.
Yeah, getting doxed by Donna. No,
Doxed by Donna.
but yeah, no, we're in Virginia, and then Nitroid, I believe he's in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
Nashville, nice. And
like
you're in
Nitroid's-
Virginia as well. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry this is taking so long.
Nitroid's lost in the wires is where he's at right now.
Lost in the
That's
wire.
all right. I don't have anything after this, so don't
Oh, great.
just
We didn't want to take up too much of your time.
don't
Yeah.
worry. I'm not like Oh yeah, I've got to water the garden.
Gotta do that
Yeah,
before
so
the sun
you
starts going
better
down.
keep this moving along because yeah. Whew.
Those plants, they get irate if you don't give them their water.
It's actually pissing down with rain, so that's I just invented that as a.
It's something to do.
Have you guys got into baking during the pandemic?
I was pretty into baking beforehand, but I've kind of done more things from scratch. Like my version of baking back in the day, I don't know how familiar you are with these in America, is taking the Pillsbury box, like the cake mix box, and then adding a little like almond flavoring to it. But with this pandemic, I've tried to be more like holistic with the cooking, or more organic, I guess. Starting from scratch, or like you said, like making bread. And I was gonna ask, like, was bread making, was that something that you learned during quarantine, or is that something you've always done?
Well, I learned sourdough. So I used to make bread before.
Ooh.
But I never ever made sourdough. So I got into making sourdough and making sourdough crackers. And yeah, so sourdough is like taking it to the next level.
Yeah, that is bread making like 301.
Advanced level.
Yeah.
Bread making hard mode. Yeah.
But it's
Bread making.
yeah,
European
and it was
extreme.
just fun. It was just so many days where there's nothing much happening. So
Yeah.
it was really, there's a beginning, a middle, something to look forward to.
That smell just kind of permeates your apartment.
The smell,
We used to have this machine.
the humble bragging. Oh, these crackers, I just made them myself.
Yeah, we used to have this machine where it's just like you would pour like a mix in it or something, and it would bake the bread in there. But that used to make the house smell so good. I love that thing. But that's nowhere near the level of that's.
I
that's
actually
breakfast
bought a
101.
bread making machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good though.
Oh yeah, the bread it made was great.
I like to think that bread making machines are the new rice making machines. Like I remember getting my first rice maker, and that changed my life. And now like I got a bread maker.
Oh, here
Yay!
it is.
I made it.
Hey.
I'm not seeing. I'm seeing.
Sorry that took so long. Is it working?
I'm not actually seeing
No
you.
worries.
This sounds like a you problem.
Okay.
Nice
There
background.
it is. Got it. Cool.
Thank you.
We're good.
Nitroid. Nice background.
Thank you.
I think you get 9 out of 10 for that. You've got a plant. You've got a neat bookshelf.
My wife bought me the plant under the strict promise that I would not kill it.
Doing a good job.
So far, so good.
Whoa, it looks like it's happy. It looks very happy there, yeah.
It's so dramatic, though. If you don't water it when it wants water, the whole thing just and just droops instantly.
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
hilarious.
That's nice. So it's a good communicator. It's a good communicator.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm done with plants, so this is perfect for me.
I actually had a snake plant, and I live in an attic room where I have like skylights, and so during the summertime, it just like beams down in here and just turns into like an oven. So even the snake plant didn't make it up here, and that one's supposed to be like impossible to kill. Made me real sad, and that one just all of a sudden just started keeling over. I was like, man, can't even raise a snake plant up here.
So can I just get a bit of background about who you are and what you do apart from this podcast, just so I can, and how you will know each other?
Who wants to kick that off?
I guess I can go first because we've already kind of have a repertoire. When the sun goes down, I put on my mask, and I'm days ahead. I do a little bit of streaming, a lot of streaming actually in the realm of Metal Gear, Resident Evil, and Silent Hill. So I think that'll tell you sort of the questions that we might dive into today. But outside of that, I like photography. I like to read outside of video games, and I have a pixie bobcat who is 20 pounds overweight. So,
Oh, so you're a cat lady. Love it.
Yep.
Fingers. What about you?
Yeah, I'm fingers. I'm fingers because I can bend my fingers all the way back. It's like a Ehlers-Danlos syndrome
okay.
thing. Yeah. It's, but yeah,
You're gonna scare her away.
I'm a musician, music producer. I DJ sometimes. But yeah, I do a lot of Metal Gear remixes. I've done a lot of remixes of songs that you're involved with. Hanging by a Thread being one of them. I was actually the runner-up of that contest. I'm not sure if you remember from that.
Yes. I do remember. In fact, we were just talking about you completely unrelated to this because of some publishing thing was saying because we released your version and oh my god. Anyway, so yeah.
Just music and Metal Gear and big time gamer. Just been playing.
So you
games
make your
ever since I
living
was
from
two.
music. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm part of this.
You
thing.
make your living from music. That's
Yeah,
really
called there's this thing called Pretzel. They give out sync licenses to streamers, and I get royalty payments from that. But
sync. They give out sync licenses. I don't even know what you're saying.
basically, if someone's
Can you explain more?
like all the DMCA copyright crackdowns that have been happening. So like the people on Twitch that are playing either their games and they want music in the background. Well, all these record labels are basically just going, no, you can't play that. Give us our money, and then it ends up taking the whole stream down. So with Pretzel, you basically give them a license to have your music in a catalog that they then have access to, that it's not striking their content, and it's safe for them to use. And then
that's awesome.
You get paid from, just the royalties from that. So, and they pay better than Spotify.
Great. That's amazing. Yeah, Spotify.
Yeah.
Waterfy.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Nitroid?
Hey, I go by Nitroid, but
Hi.
my name's Ryan. I guess I don't really know how to explain this to you. I guess I used to do some games press work. A lot of it covered around Metal Gear and Kojima. But nowadays I just kind of complain on Twitter a bunch. And do this, but so not as much these days.
Thank you for letting me see you all. I really like it. Yeah, it's fun.
It does make just
I don't get out
podcasting
much.
easier. Yeah.
I don't get out much.
I want to
None
see
of
real
us do.
people.
Yeah, like exactly. So say thank you for indulging me.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. It really is an honor to have you on. It's just, you've been a huge part in the music in Metal Gear, and as a musician, that makes it a huge part for me. And I'm sure these two are also big fans of your work and stuff. So it's great to have you on.
Thank you. It's fun to be here.
it's kind of it's a different environment, like being in podcasting, because like you said, it's like this just casual conversation, and you get to kind of just like be yourself and just chill and let people see who you are and stuff. And that was one thing tuning into the Make It Into Japan podcast. It was like, whoa, who's this Donna? Like, oh, okay, cool. Like, this is great.
It's definitely made us less intimidated.
Oh, okay. I'll need to finish that podcast then, because I want. That's no good. I'm losing my scariness. Yeah, no, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable to just to just hear somebody like you just go off on stuff. And I think I heard my first like F-bomb from you. I was like, okay, cool, here we go.
Oh no, I do like an F-bomb.
You gotta have them every once in a while. So.
Yeah, and actually, part of me is going, isn't that sort of lazy? And then the person, shut up.
Yeah,
you're not the boss of me. Voice in my head, I can say whatever I want. Yeah. It's my podcast. Yeah. I just avoided saying an F-bomb there in case something.
Oh, we can totally fucking cuss on here. It's not.
No, it's like that. It's like that line.
Rooms away. They're fine.
It's like that line.
Away.
So is that kind of like why you wanted to start the podcast though with Indigo?
So I could do the F-bombs.
Just to show your more casual side.
The more metaphorical
and have fun with it.
Okay, here's the scoop. Indigo had posted on Twitter that he was having a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
This is only about 5 weeks ago. You can look back. And so I was like, I love Indigo. He's become a friend. I met him at my last gig that I ever did before COVID hit. And I've really loved working with him. And I gave him a call. Let's check in, see how you're doing. And as we were talking for about an hour, he goes, we should record this.
Yeah.
People would want to hear this chat. And of course, he's a YouTube king. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I don't care.
He's killing it.
And he does all the techie side of it. Mm-hmm. Because it is true, there's a lot of I'm at a different stage of my career, and he's at a different stage, and he's got like heaps of stuff that I don't know about, and I've got experiences that he doesn't know about. So it's really fun to hear, to go back and forth. Mm-hmm. And I agree, like it's fun. I love listening to podcasts. Like I'm a huge fan of Tim Ferriss, and just hearing people talk.
Yeah.
As you drive along, and sometimes I listen to podcasts, I have tears in my eyes. I'm so moved. I find out all sorts of things that I never. So yeah, that's how it started. Yeah. And I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely because of that. I don't have dinner parties. I don't go out. I stay home. It's so talking to Indigo and talking to you guys is really fun. So thank you, thank you.
I think we're all kind of feeling that.
Socializing.
Yeah, it's definitely filling that social gap that we were all definitely experiencing, and just not being able to go out and play music or perform music. It's just like, this is killing me. I'm used to seeing a lot of people at once, and this just like long form discussion type is definitely filling some kind of gap for me. So I think it's kept us all kind of
it's like the dinner party is an unsafe. Yeah, it's an unsafe environment, and this is like. It's really filling a deep need for me and for you, just to connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you're still in Japan,
even though
right?
I do have 4 cats. I am in Tokyo right now. Yep. But so I go back and forth between Tokyo and Gunma, so that's why when you see me on the podcast, I'm in different places. Yeah.
Okay, so you do still get to travel a bit then, at least.
Oh yeah, and I pop into Maebashi Costco on the way sometimes if I'm really lucky. So yeah, I've got a fabulous, exciting life. Going to supermarkets. Thank you for reminding me about that.
Dude, no,
I'm very lucky. I have 2 places I can go back and forth.
Nitroid is really trying to fill in the mundane about Japan because he really wants to go to Japan, and he's even entertained the idea of moving the podcast operation to Japan.
That was a joke.
After he found out that I was working from home like semi-permanently. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Nitrate wants to make it in Japan as well.
I mean,
so.
okay, so like,
Nitrate
I mean,
wants to make it in Japan as well.
for people like me, for people outside of Japan, it all seems very romantic, and I'm sure that romanticism fades when you've spent a significant enough amount of time there, right? I mean, that's any country. That's not exclusive to Japan.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, I came to Japan with no romantic ideas. I came just for work. I'd never been a Japanophile. I was exhausted from doing. Australians go to and they do Europe. And all I got to do was the UK, and after that, I was like, I don't want to see another castle. I'm so sick of sightseeing. I can't even. No, there's no Europe. I can't do it. And I just wanted to get a job, and this was the easiest place for me to get a job, Japan. So in a way, I had no culture shock. I had no like, oh, that's not how I read about it in the anime. In the manga. I'm completely clueless. So that's been good actually, because.
Yeah.
I haven't been disappointed.
Yeah, when you have no expectations, it's like, there you go. Yeah, you just.
It seems like you had the opposite way, where it's like they're like, oh, or they forego the whole job thing and go for like, this dream lifestyle. Whereas you're like, what lifestyle? I'm just looking for a job. Like,
yeah, and you go there like, oh, this is actually kind of nice here. All right, cool.
Yeah. What's an anime? No.
Is that fairly common though, going from Australia to Japan?
It is. Because we're in the same time zone and we're literally going up.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last 10 years, the skiing in Japan has become a huge magnet for Australians when I came here, Australia was not so wealthy, and now Australians are quite wealthy. They've got a lot of money to travel, and Japan's just like such a great destination. 10-hour flight, direct flight, you get up here. It's safe. So you're in a very foreign environment, but it's safe, and it's very much a magnet.
Yeah. What's that flight from Australia to Europe? That's probably a trek.
That's a shocker. There's a direct flight from Perth, where I'm from, direct to London. I think that's nearly 19 hours.
Oh my!
But normally it takes you two
man.
flights. You have to go to Dubai and then change. So it's 24 hours.
Ah.
I was gonna say, I bet that's a hell of a layover. You just stay in the middle of a little,
Yeah. So Japan's cool. I'm 10 hours to LA. I'm 12 hours to London. I'm 10 hours to Perth or Sydney. 3 hours to China. So I feel like I'm the king of the world. Yeah, it's a great spot.
Yeah, so that's like just going in. Were you starting out doing more like on the music side, or was it the voice acting? Because I see like your earliest voice acting credit.
No, I started up with music.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely it was music, and how I got my start was singing at weddings.
Okay.
So I used to sing at weddings in Australia. So I sang at weddings, and through that, I got my first recording gigs, which were singing for TV commercials, and that led to me singing for I can't remember my first. I have to go Wikipedia myself. I think Gundam movie, which is my first big thing, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That was in 2000.
Was that a weird moment for you when you realized you had a Wikipedia page?
Super. Because I didn't make it. I was like, who? What?
This is accurate.
Yeah.
How did you know?
Who gives this much of a shit?
Like that's how you know you've made it, though, right?
I totally. And the other thing is, there's all these jobs on there that I have no recollection of doing, which are true. So some people say, I remember when you did Violet Rumble Roses, and I'm like,
we were just talking about that.
Really? Was that really stinky cupboard that I recorded something in?
Yeah.
And which stinky room, which shitty studio was that? And they're like, and how did you feel when you did it? Hot and sweaty because there was no air conditioner in there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But that's not what the fans want to hear.
Yeah.
I've had to just keep it all inside. Yeah. No, it's pretty cool having a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, it's definitely a diverse portfolio. I mean, you definitely you've done motion cap and just voiceover work and lyricist work. So it seems like you're like a Swiss Army knife kind of just in the whole video game process kind of.
Thank you. I do try to be versatile.
Yeah.
I do try to be versatile. Yes. No, it's fun.
Yeah.
Who would say no to mocap?
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
unless you. Yeah.
Is that like how did they
know.
kind of reach out to you? Is that were you kind of like were you doing the other gigs and then they're like, hey, we need somebody else to do mocap, or did you like kind of seek that work out?
No, well, back in the day. Now I've had friends who did mocap for Death Stranding.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh my God, it's going to change your life. It's going to be, because they didn't tell me it was just the mocap. And so it wasn't until I was like, oh my God, I've got to take you to the Tokyo Game Show. It's just you'll be able to do Comic Cons because you're in Death Stranding. I mean, this is incredible, man. And then it turns out that they just did the mocap and there's no voices. And I was devastated for them.
Mm-hmm.
But back in my day, back in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have the budgets for the big stars, did they? So they had to go with the locals. And I just answered a audition and auditioned and got in that way.
Gotcha.
And I begged to be I kept saying, I'm a singer. Don't you want to give me the theme song? And they
like,
refused for both Silent Hill 2 and 3. The bastards. Someone else, yeah.
Well, that's kind of how they got a lot of the cast for Silent Hill 2. At least that's what I've heard, is that they just sort of went out and were just asking almost random people, something like that.
Well, thanks, Nitroid. Thanks a lot.
All right, foot and mouth on that one.
It was a very exclusive process that I was just like, well, devastated. I'm devastated.
I was part of a select few,
let's
Nitroid.
just move along. Next question.
This is why
Next question. No, but that sounds pretty realistic, actually. So yeah, there was not a very big talent pool. And that's why, how did you break it into video games, Donna? And it's like, well, because there was hardly any competition.
Yeah.
Hello. I said it here. Back in the day, there wasn't much. And so that's how I got my big break, folks. By
this
being
is why I don't work in
a
PR.
mediocre talent in a very small pond. And then I made the most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, then you ended
And
up
then
being
by the time it became video games became cool, they got the film stars. Sorry.
Well, you got in there for the iDroids, so that's a pretty iconic, voice acting gig for me. It's just
compliment detected.
Oh, yes.
You mentioned going to the iDroid, and I kind of wanted to jump back to this topic. You mentioned that you wrote songs for commercials. Were those like jingles for companies? And if
Yes.
so, do you feel like
very high quality ones?
I would love to hear these, because I'm a sucker for commercial jingles myself. But I almost felt like, do you feel like having that experience, like I almost feel like the iDroid voice is very like, I don't want to say like ironically commercial, but like it's very perky and commercial given the circumstances. Like it's the assistant to like a criminal warlord, but it's so perky, like it's from a commercial. And I almost feel like maybe some of that perkiness from the commercial jingles came into the iDroid, but maybe that's my head making the connections.
Well, the iDroid is simply, so you're wrong. And categorically, I'll say that was the worst and the most incorrect. But thank you for offering your opinion. However, it is incorrect.
Donna's on fire tonight. Donna's coming in swing.
We're all going to get destroyed tonight. That's just how this is going to go.
I'd rather be wrong than not know it all. Okay.
No, good on you, Days. You've got a good sense of humour. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think you had a good sense of humour. This is how we show love in Australia, by insulting people. So consider yourself loved. An Aussie love bomb where we just hurl insults at you. So, no, I got the job simply for iDroid because I'm the voice on the Shinkansen, and it's a Kojima-san knows that. And even before I worked on any Metal Gear, I'd been doing that voice for 7 years. So before he even met me, he knew I was the voice of the Shinkansen, which is like saying you're the voice of every aeroplane that's flying around America that says, please put your seatbelts on now. We'll soon be descending. And everyone, so it's not like, well, I've only traveled American Airlines. I've not heard the Delta ones. Everyone's heard it because it's the Shinkansen. It's like a public, you know. So it was this incredibly iconic voice that millions of people have heard many, many times. And that when I went into the recording for iDroid, it was simply, can you do that voice without getting sued by JR East? And I said, it's my voice. So no, it's fine. I can do whatever.
That seems pretty.
And in the Japanese game of Metal Gear Solid, I had to record all of these Easter eggs, which have got funny station names in Japanese and also in wrong Japanese, well, not wrong, but Japanese stations of the Shinkansen which don't actually exist.
Okay.
So there was this whole level of meta jokes about me being the Shinky lady.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't pick up on that at all with our versions.
With as much voice work as you've done in Japan, do you ever get recognized just talking to anybody?
Yeah, nah, not tried. Because I actually talk like this most of the time in my normal Australian accent. And the Shinkansen voice is completely fake, and I'm smiling and have a very, very soft tone.
Yeah.
So I
like
don't actually talk like that in real
voice,
life, but I have been recognised when I go to the shop. Yeah, so I get recognised because someone saw me on a Japanese TV show about, did you know who the voice is behind the Shinkansen? So that's how, they saw me on TV.
So it's more by sight.
But it's happened about like 5 times.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
When I wear my I'm the voice of the Shinkansen t-shirt back and front, that works. But yeah.
Wow, I'm trying to think of what I would do, because before COVID I traveled a lot for business, and I'm trying to think of what I'd do if I ever met like the airplane lady. I don't know what I'd say.
What I do is I ask people for their phone, and I always do a recording of it. So they've got something to laugh about with their friends later.
That's
so
great.
I
cool.
I stopped in a shop earlier this year, and it's just, Mark Hamill was singing people's birthday songs for years. Like, I thought, if he's got time to do that, I've surely got time to, grab someone's phone and record myself.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you, I'm wearing the shirt that I wore in 2013 to sing at Capitol Records, Sins of the Father.
Oh wow!
Shit.
It has been washed and ironed since then. But this is what I'm wearing this in honor of today, guys. So yeah.
Thank you. That's
awesome.
That's so cool that you did that.
I keep it in a special drawer. So yeah, this is what I wore.
That's a favorite for me.
Yeah. Now, I've got a bit of a secret to tell you about that too. For Sins of the Father, I had a cold when I recorded that. And if you hear the very first thing, you'll hear me blind in the deep.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I had a cold. And I was like, why can't they use all the other demo recordings that we did? But no, they use that bit.
Well, it's impossible to notice.
Yeah.
Now I'm never going to unhear that.
Oh, well, now that I'm talking, you can't not hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, that's not necessarily like a negative thing though either. Like I'm sure like you as an artist might say like, oh, I wanted them to use this other take of it, but just the version that came out for me, it's just like it's just got that character to it, to where it fits the emotion of the song and stuff. So maybe a cold helped it out. I don't know, but I've heard you do it live too, so
maybe because it makes it sound like I'm wearing a mask. Maybe like I'm wearing one of those interrogation masks, and it's like because I'm about to be tortured.
Just throw a little bit of just like muffled color on it. Yeah.
That'd be very like thematically appropriate.
Yeah, that's true. That's why you it's not I wasn't the person who mixed it and made that call. And but just as a performer, you're just like, oh, I wish I was in the top quality sound when I did that. But yeah, it is what it is.
Easy to be our own self-critics for sure.
Yeah. Artists are always their worst critics.
Yeah, and the fact that, like, I've heard, you sing that song many times in many iterations, and you hit that one note, that whoa-ho, that, and I'm not even going to attempt to go. That's why I just stayed right in the key that I'm in right now. But, yeah, I mean, you hit that note live every time, and it's just like, it's that feeling of just sending chills down the spine. I forget the term for it. I can't think of it, but you just get that whole, like, tickle going down, and the word I couldn't think of was
frisson.
Now we know you had a cold.
Goosebumps.
Yeah. What
a privilege. That song is just such an amazing song, and it's like it's an incredible creation on its own. Like what a great song. I'm not talking about my performance, I'm just talking about the song.
As a whole, your performance included. I mean, I think that's one thing that really brings that song to the next level. I mean, when you take that away from it, it's just not going to hit as hard for me. So,
thanks, Fingers. Compliment detected. Compliment received.
Yeah. And this is something I can cut out of the show too, but that is a song, like one of the first Metal Gear remixes I did. I chopped up that song and put like a drum beat over it and put Kaz saying they played us like a damn fiddle over it, and it kind of exploded on YouTube. And that's kind of when everybody hears my stuff, they're like, wait, you're that they played us like a damn fiddle remix guy, aren't you? And the sample included in that is, of course, that whoa-ho big impact on Sins of the Father. So it's kind of meta here that we're meeting here and talking today.
Yeah, keep that in the show. Everyone, that's
right, cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, for me, it's always been like this unofficial remix that's like bootleg, and I didn't get any sample clearance from, so it's just like, it's always been one of those things where it's like, sample clearance, it's one of those things that as an independent small artist, it's like, oh God, if I get hit with one of these, one of these suits or whatever, it's going to end up bad for me, but yeah.
Konami seems pretty cool about stuff like that, though.
And I've noticed. Konami's been great with me on that regard. Like they've given me kind of just hands off. Like, hey, we see you and we support you. We're not really coming after you per se, but when it comes to like official samples and like I keep clear of like Spotify and stuff like that because I know that's when like the legality of it gets a little murky.
Yeah, that algorithm's gonna get you.
Yeah.
And that was what was so cool to then eventually do an official remix for you on the Hanging by a Thread contest, and then for that to get put on Spotify, I was like, yeah, cool, we're doing the real thing now. So that was kind of like a level up thing where we like officially signed some paperwork and figured it out. So that was definitely an honor for me. So
yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, let's hope they call us back for the actual official movie theme. Hello, Jordan Vogt Roberts, if you're listening.
Shout out,
wink,
Jordan.
wink.
Yeah, and that had to have been kind of weird for you hearing from people about the Eminem sampling your Glassy Sky song from Tokyo Ghoul, all of a sudden being like, oh, wait, what? Like, what was that experience like hearing about that?
Well, it turns out they didn't sample my version. They sampled Amelie's.
Oh, really? That's an updated news story for me. I didn't follow up on that then.
Talk about, like, next level. No.
Oof.
He didn't sample my version. He sampled a cover of someone who sounds like me, Emily.
Okay.
I think she's amazing, and good luck. Good on her. Yeah. Good on her. And it turned out that why that happened was that you can get the rights clearance on a cover, not on the actual. Much easier and quicker to get the rights on a cover. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Because for people that don't know, there's two rights. There's the recording and then the composition. So you got, I guess, half of that sample clearance license, and then the recording was under her cover. So yeah, that seems the way that.
Yeah. So my voice, I don't own that voice recording, and I don't. So But I had some great news from the people who own the copyright of the song, and they have granted permission for me to do an orchestral version. So, because I'm going to be doing a tour in Australia, a concert tour.
So that's going to be part of the
next
songs
year
you're singing.
or the year
That's
after,
awesome.
and yeah, so they gave permission, and Nick Buck, who is the arranger for the Metal Guerin concert, is going to arrange all the songs. This week I've just had Yoko Kanno's company's given me permission to do the Real Folk Blues, After All from Gundam movie. So it's just I've got nearly all the songs that I wanted.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's
unbelievable.
And
it's
like, yes.
It's only taken about 2 months, but it's going to be. Yeah, it's like, and this is the boring part. This is supposed to be the boring part, and it's actually really exciting. All the game companies and the anime companies have been so nice and supportive. So it's just so like, oh,
yeah.
Because singing the Metal Gear songs in concert with the symphony orchestra is like a drug.
Mm-hmm.
It is
having that behind you.
The feeling of these boom 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 behind you, and then there's the audience in front. Oh man! So I want to have more of that, please. So that's why I'm making my own concert series for symphony.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm going to do my hits and some other greatest hits.
And that'll just be completely separate from the Metal Gear in concert series.
Yeah, and that's the exciting thing.
That's
that Konami have been really great about that, and also the owners of the arrangement. Anyway, everyone's been really nice. So I'm on cloud nine. I'm on a bit of a high actually this week.
Yeah, that's awesome news. I know how hard getting sample clearance and just cover clearance, especially for live performance. That's like a whole nother level of it too. So that's congrats on that. That's awesome news to hear. Can't wait to hear some of those renditions live too with the symphony.
Yeah, and I want fans to come in cosplay. I've written a cosplay song, which I want to honor the audience. I want to have shine a spotlight on people, and have them be in a comfortable, beautiful, plush concert hall seat, not in some concreted floor anime con. And feeling really uncomfortable. I want it to be luxe.
Where I normally perform. Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah.
And if you're in a hotel, you're like, oh, it's carpeted floor. Okay, that's next level comfort. So, yeah, we'll be competing with a hotel-based anime convention. But, like, when I was in Australia and I met David Hayter in 2019 at a Comic-Con called Supernova, and I was just watching people walking around on the concrete floor and they're beautiful. It's like, God, they must be exhausted. Thin Splint City is what I thought. Ow.
It's pretty tough. I'm a Vans girl. I usually wear sneakers, and I've had cosplay involving like heels and like sweaters in it, like summer Atlanta, Georgia weather. So it's not fun.
No.
Beauty is pain, or I guess cosplay.
No.
But not to make the conversation about me, but it does sound like you said that you got those licenses and those rights within, you said like 2 months. It sounds like you're ready to like hit the ground running, coming out of COVID and performing out once things come back to normal.
That's the plan. Days ahead. But it's been 3 years of me wanting to do this, and various team members in my team have come and gone and just not being able to get anywhere. And this one girl called Tomomi, who's just only been working for me for 2 months, has just done more in 2 months than I ever did in 3 years. So it's just timing, alignment. I've got the support of the Australian Embassy. They're really helping me as well, which I think having a big crest, with a big crest, like a government support, really helps. Legitimizes
gives
me.
You a little official,
Yeah, that bureaucracy, man. It's that bureaucracy buff.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, we don't want to call any diplomatic, cause any diplomatic problems by not granting her the rights to do this concert celebrating Japanese music in Australia. So I think that's a yes. So shout out to the Aussie Embassy in Tokyo. They've been great.
Yes, thank you so much for this, even though I might not be able to make it, but we appreciate it nonetheless.
No, I'm going to come to America and do it, so don't worry.
You got any cities planned?
Come to the East Coast.
I've heard of the East Coast. I did come to the East Coast several times.
Yeah, you did New York.
Yeah,
we
do exist.
New York.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Everyone knows the East Coast. It's the people in the middle who miss out.
I was going to say, we're like down like towards the south, so yeah.
I like to pretend I'm part of the East Coast, even though I'm kind of west of it, so.
Yeah, be fun.
Yeah, nothing fun happens here. I mean, we've got Nashville, so.
I know, Nashville, that's so world famous, mate.
Yeah.
You got like country music and hot chicken sandwiches.
We do, that's what we've got. You're welcome to
and
come
Nicole
here.
Kidman
I will treat you.
With Keith Urban.
Yep.
She does. I don't. Does she still? I think she still does.
Well, no, she's in Australia now for COVID.
Oh wow.
As all the rich people are. Mm.
Oh yeah, there are so many celebrities around Nashville. It's crazy. But yeah, if you ever bring the concert here, I will happily treat you to some Nashville hot chicken.
No, it's not. If ever, it's when I bring the concert to Nashville.
Yes.
And I'm sure you've got a wonderful symphonic orchestra there. And I'm sure you've got lots of game and anime fans. And we'll do Glassy Sky with a symphonic arrangement. Can't wait.
That'd be sick.
We got the
and then we'll do the hot chicken sandwiches after.
Nice.
I feel like you guys are Debbie Downers. I'm going to be doing the concert all over America, dipshits.
Oh.
We're just scared,
so
okay?
Stop bringing down the...
We didn't
Stop
want to
bringing down the vibe by saying I'm not going to be near you.
We didn't need
people skip our cities during tours, so people skip our cities during tours, so we're a bit jaded. So
we didn't know if you were going to skip, or what tour dates. So we didn't want to spoil your tour lineup. I do have a symphonic orchestra in Richmond. There's the Richmond Symphonic Orchestra. You can hit them up. They're in Richmond, Virginia.
Good. Boom. There you go.
I will come out for sure, 100%.
We have the Nashville Symphony here, so they do exist.
Yep. We're like halfway there, guys.
Look, I'm just saying. I've made the drive to Manhattan once, and it was a pain to get there. But I got to see New Order live, and it was totally worth it.
New Order, nice.
How many hours drive was it?
Well, I lived in Ohio at the time, so that was about 9 hours. So now it would probably be more like 12. Because we don't have a good train system here, and so if you want to get somewhere, you're either flying or driving.
Yeah,
we gotta catch up.
But I think the National Symphony played on Sins of the Father.
Oh wow!
I'm sure I saw it was the strings were recorded in Nashville. So how's that?
That is amazing.
A Zara,
I did not know
shirt
that.
bought in Zara. Yeah. So there's all the connections. There's going to be conspiracy theory thing about the shirt,
stuff.
About Nashville, about chicken sandwiches.
Oh God, there's always a conspiracy theory.
Dude, as long as we get chicken sandwiches at the end.
Yeah. I think everybody will be happy.
But outside, I was going to say, I do want to make sure that we talk about this, so I am going to veto and transition, take the executive action. I did kind of want to go back a little bit into Silent Hill, or your work in Silent Hill. First and foremost, since you were the actress for Claudia Wolf, where the fuck did her eyebrows go?
It's creepier. Don't you think she looks creepier without eyebrows?
She does. It's a great aesthetic choice. I just want to make sure the eyebrows are okay.
The creepy thing is when I did that game, I had brown curly hair. And then about 10 years later, it was all about ironing your hair down, and I became like a bottle blonde, and I looked like Claudia with eyebrows. So much so that I changed my hairstyle back because I look creepy. And there's a photo of me and Kojima-san, and I look like freaking Claudia with eyebrows.
Whoa.
I have to find that. Oh man, is it bad that like when you told me that story?
No, why?
I was gonna say,
why would it be bad that I'm dissing myself?
Well, you tell me this story and you're talking about like, oh, I look like Claudia, this is creepy. And the first thing that's coming in my head is like, my God, that's so much damage to your hair, going from like brown curly hair to like dyeing it blonde and then flat, like
no, it was very gradual. And no, it's very, look, days ahead, I had fabulous damage control of my blondes, so yeah, that was not a concern. Don't worry about that. My hair was blonde, a bottle blonde, but silky smooth, lovely.
Good. See, you can see I think about this stuff a lot. So
yeah. Now I've just got a few streaks. Yeah, but yeah, it's funny how the eyebrow. They took the eyebrows off her to make her look creepy, and especially because she's got hair but she'd no eyebrows is it's not like she's got alopecia or something. So yeah, I
like to picture a scenario where like, you know, it's the 2000s, so she like overstripped, or you know, there was an accident between her and Leonard and the fucking razors. I don't know, but
talking about accidents, once I had a laser peel in Australia around the year for all my sun damage. And it basically, I look like the English patient. All my face was brown and crusted because, you know, the Australians have a lot of sun damage. And so I to keep my dewy, youthful complexion, I underwent this horrific procedure, which I would never do now. And I remember going to near Byron Bay, going to the supermarket and getting something. And I said, "Oh, you're looking at my face." And this guy said, "Yeah, me and my mate are just wondering though, because you know you look like you've opened the oven door and you've burnt the shit out of your face, but why are your eyebrows still there?" And I was like, "Well, it's a good point, mate. You'd be a top detective." I said, "This is sorry for me. This was a self-inflicted beauty treatment." So yeah.
And you Aussies, dude.
Sorry, I've just rained on Claudia's.
Brutal, honestly.
We're talking about Silent Hill, and now we're just talking. Yeah,
that was a very Australian exchange. And it was like, "You look like shit." And it was like,
me
"Damn,
and
thanks for noticing."
Kidman, we have to take all our freckles off. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm actually 84 years old, but because I've had so many laser things, I only look 56. Yeah.
Oh, you did a great job. Yeah.
It's working. It's working. She born in 1934.
You look great.
Well, going outside of shitting on Claudia, we can take it more of a positive note for Silent Hill. You also did the voice work for Angela in 2, and I almost feel like that was what am I trying to say here? I think that was just a fantastic job. I mean, I feel like it was in a time where we definitely didn't emphasize mental health the way we do now, or at least it wasn't as prevalent in fiction. And for a video game of all things to hit the nail on it, and the acting that you did, I feel like hit the nail for Angela's past and her behavior and her troubles. For that to happen in a video game in like 2001, I mean, I still look back on it and it's incredible to me.
Compliment detected.
I went back and I've written a song about Angela for I think it's I can't remember the title of it. Yeah, and I revisited all of her pain and maybe something about suffering in the title. But yeah, it's like it is pretty dark and knowing that people even these days suffer abuse from, you know, family members, sexual abuse and mistreatment. That's the thing about, you know, it might be a game, but you're really learning, you know, going into someone else's world, walking in someone's shoes. Yeah. Pretty powerful stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that used to be the exclusive domain of books, movies, TV shows, and now you've got this emerging medium that has for such a long time been seen sort of as a kid's toy, is starting to sort of broach into these areas and appeal to wider audiences and tackle difficult subjects. It's interesting to see how the interactive element of this has sort of started to interplay with a lot of this, the more complicated subjects.
Well, I don't play video games like that because I find them just absolutely too realistic. And so I could read all of the Game of Thrones books because there's no sound, there's no visual, there's just my imagination. If things get too uncomfortable, I can just, it's very easy to just disengage.
You do
But the
that a lot
TV show,
reading
I couldn't
Game of
watch it
Thrones.
because it was just the music, just
Yeah.
pardon?
I was saying, and you could do that a lot when you're reading through A Song of Ice and Fire. You just close the book and walk away when you have to decompress.
That's the sympathetic nervous system. My brain can't tell the difference that it's not reality. So on stage when I'm acting, I know I'm acting, but in a game, I feel like it's too. Just a moment. Someone's at the door.
Heard that too. Package received.
So where were we? What were you talking about? Sorry about that.
Oh, video games and mental health and them being a kind of a medium. For
yeah, but how realistic video games are and how I actually can't tell that it's not reality.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually think I'm about to be killed.
Yeah,
and
it can be
it's
stressful.
definitely not fun. That's not fun. Maybe car games, but like the military stuff.
Yeah.
Or anything scary like stealth. Oh, hello, darling.
Yep. I
The
found
people
my
who
kitty.
can't. Oh, what a handsome person. Oh, very lovely. Hello,
Very
darling.
lovely and
Do you want to
overweight.
look at Archie?
Hi.
Cat stream.
We got some
He's
cat
not
streams.
that
going.
overweight. Cat stream. There we go.
Cat cast.
Actually, Archie fell off the balcony
Oh no.
3 days ago. He got frightened by a crow because the crows are about this big, and then we hear this scratching, and he's trying to get in our bedroom at 4 a.m.
Oh no.
And he was so scared. He was uninjured, but yeah. Oh, darlings.
It's like my biggest fear.
This has got nothing to do with anything. So let's get back to the topic.
Let's see. Yeah, definitely pushing through, like the stressful horror games and the video games. I can, some people are all for it, but yeah, I can, they're not for everybody for sure. Like you were talking about stealth games too. That's like a whole nother type of different stress.
Yeah. Too real.
So
but I could watch someone else get killed. That's fine.
Yeah. So VR is completely off the table. Let's see.
Yeah, I think so. Unless it was some fairyland.
Yeah.
Where
nice
cats
beach vacation type deal.
On magic parachutes. Yeah.
So are rehearsals going to be starting up soon for this tour, or are things still kind of
No, we're not there
right now?
We're not there. No, there's we're still in preparation mode. So everything's pretty. Australia has got a containment policy, whereas Japan has got a let's just live with coronavirus. So now we're just waiting for the Olympics to come, which is going to be interesting. All the athletes from all over the world coming here. So yeah, it's a bit scary.
Now they're still limiting tourism, correct?
Yeah, it's but the weird thing is within Japan, I could go on a tourist. I could go up and down Japan. There's no border restrictions within Japan once you're here. But yeah, there's no. It's funny. Like walking around Tokyo now is like what it was 15 years ago when there really were no tourists. Because up until COVID, the place was heaving with visitors from overseas, and now it's very just the people who live here.
Yeah.
But congrats on America. You guys did a shit job and now you're doing a great job
Yeah.
with your vaccinations and everything. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I just live here.
Good
I don't
recovery. Yeah, you stumble, but it's like
I wore my
We
mask.
limped past the finish line.
I wore my mask the whole fucking time.
Yeah, I literally just stepped in the
Vaccinated.
bar for the first time in over a year for my birthday. So
Sadly, Nitroid actually caught it for a short bit.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I actually had COVID, and we took every precaution. That sucked.
Most likely
That's not fun.
from your kids, right?
Wow.
Did you say that was probably the vector for it?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. The kids had a little bit of a sniffle. My wife had a flu for a little under a week, and I was in bed dying for 2 weeks. It was the worst experience I've ever had.
You poor thing.
Yeah, there was one day
Yeah,
I was just eating and lost my sense of taste and smell almost instantly, and was like, "Oh, that's a bad sign."
Yeah.
Sure
I've
enough.
got COVID. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Just in news in Australia, they found, because they have a complete containment policy, once someone is found to have COVID, which they usually have caught in quarantine, they go through all the CTVs to see who they interacted with before they knew that they were infected. And they worked out that you can get COVID. Of course, the two people had no masks on. They were in the same shop for 10 seconds, not talking to each other. And one person just breathed their air for 10 seconds and he got COVID. Like, it's so infectious.
Yeah.
Incredible. 10 seconds.
That's
It's
wild.
nuts.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everybody slowly gets to get back to a little bit of normal, and we get to start hearing some Metal Gear music out in the wild, out at these we hear some whoa-hos in the distance.
Maybe in a
everything will be
year's
back
time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go back to concerts,
Yeah.
man. You guys
It'll happen.
Yeah.
that itch. You're killing me.
I just want to sit in restaurants again.
I just want to turn knobs.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's being in a restaurant. Yeah, that's what I miss. What are you going to keep doing once COVID's finished, some new way of being that you've taken on that you're not going to give up?
Working from home, hopefully. This has been great.
Yeah, my boss just told me that she doesn't care if we work from home or not. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Because you get so much more time. Americans do ridiculous commutes, like an hour each way.
Yeah.
An hour, like you travel a long way for your work often in a car, listening to podcasts. That's nice. But to get 2 hours a day back must be huge.
And to not have to wear pants with working, that's an even bigger impact.
I'm sorry, but I am wearing elastic pants. Sorry.
That's like
Totally
one
checks
level below.
Sorry, I didn't think this was going to be on. Going to be on camera. I just went the full, lucky duck
Oh, you're good.
pants. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. But yeah, in my case, it's been usually I have that long commute, and now I've been home. I've been able to see my kids more. Just I really don't want to give that up.
For me too.
How about you, Fingers?
One thing that we kind of started, like the idea of it, but like we really kicked it in, like in high gear, was doing the podcast. I hope we keep doing the podcast because that's something that kind of just, I think everybody just like we started out the conversation with, everybody kind of needed that conversation and stuff. And I, as we get out of this phase, I think it's something that people are still gonna hopefully latch on to, and they appreciate it versus the normal talk show type, where you get the 5 minutes and you get your quick promo out and your plugs and that's it.
Yeah,
it seems to be something that's really kind of caught on. I mean, obviously it's definitely a popular thing, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to more Making It in Japan podcasts, and looking forward to interviewing more cool people like you. So this has been a blast. Like, this has been so much
Thanks,
fun.
mate. Me too.
First awkward silence of the night. We did it, guys.
I know. Usually we get our awkward silence in like 10 minutes into the night, but it took us like an hour and some change.
I'm creating the awkward silences because
there is
a time lag.
Yeah, there's
and I keep talking over you. So that's why I'm not being my normal self. Normally I'd just be jumping in to fill that silence like that. Any more questions?
Did we go into did we want to talk about the blue box stuff with Donna, or is that
something you want to talk about? This whole blue box incident?
Oh man,
I saw you were kind of tweeting about it earlier with in regards to just it being this wild conspiracy thing.
Sid was make a comment to Indigo like, haha, the truth is out there, and even then I thought that's a lame. What a lame comment. But it was like 10:30. It's about to pop into bed, and then it just blew up into Donna Burke is saying that the truth is out there. It's like, it's just an inane comment.
Yeah,
it's not even. And then I just started going nuts. Like, okay, if you reckon this is it's like one time I went to Nintendo and I was working on something and they said Donald Burke is working on something. That was the title of some article. So
these journalists are thirsty.
But anyway, I think I reckon I'm going to jump in there. I reckon it's a setup, and it's going to be revealed as a setup. That's my take. What about you guys?
It is it's a bit of an ongoing theme on this show that we sort of lampoon the rumor mongers and the conspiracy theorists because, like you said, any innocuous comment made in jest can be spun into a giant, rumor that, is going to fuel YouTubers for months. And
yeah.
Yeah, so it's been going on for a couple weeks with this.
What can you do except, But the thing that makes me think is Jeff Keighley's face. Mate, look at his face. He's just like, oh, I can't say anything.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's nothing to be said. And he's just like, so, that's a dead giveaway. He's a dead giveaway in a good way. Hello, Jeff.
I kind of hope so because
he's a nice guy. So I reckon he's just having
It's definitely something that with
Kojima
games.
That was just me burping. Sorry.
we got Donna Burke in the house.
Yeah, you'll hear it later when you do the playback. It was a nice little of.
Nice.
I'm drinking a bit of a gassy drink here, but keep going, Fingers. Sorry to interrupt you, mate.
It's definitely like a very Kojima-esque thing, and with what happened with the Moby Dick studio and how that ended up being how we heard about Metal Gear Solid V. It was like, okay, so this isn't outside of his playbook, so everybody thinks, oh, he's doing it again, and that's kind of what the whole conspiracy is like, oh, this developer, there's a guy, Hassan Kamaran, who has the
fooled
same...
me once.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to be fooled again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does seem like they just got really just caught up in this big, this big mess, and they said a couple of things that people started connecting the dots, and it's that poor guy Hassan looked like he was in tears when he had to make that video and be like, I'm a real person, I'm not an actor. And then people made memes of Kojima off screen, like holding a gun to his head, like, say the line. Like, it's just this internet crowd they're nuts. But it's all the ruse careers. That's what you signed up for with Kojima.
But it's all in good fun. That's why I like it. I feel like it's all in good fun. We don't, as adults, we don't have Christmas anymore. We've got Amazon Prime. Whenever we want something, boom, it's delivered. Bang. We never have to wait for anything. So to have some sort of faux drama and something to look forward to, God, I'm there. Num, please. Wait, the sourdough needs, that's about all that I've got going on.
We accidentally kicked up a big controversy. Nitroid set up a fake account called Tom Olson, and it was this like Metal Gear Solid 2 thing where he had, I'm not sure if you heard about that. There was like this big rumor mill thing they got, talked about a few months ago, but he went in and like hacked the game's camera using somebody else's thing and got all this footage that wasn't available in the game, so it was like convincing enough to where people were like, "Wait, does this mean
I can sum it up.
Yeah.
I can give you the short version of this.
Art project gone wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I basically turned one of the games into a photography blog, and I was just dicking around, right? Like I wasn't trying to do anything serious, but then a bunch of journalists started writing stories about how I was this fake account that I made that was never anything other than just like, hey, cool photos. Was hinting at a new game that Konami was doing some secret reveal of, and it blew up, and I just sort of got like a deer in headlights at it, like, oh God, like what do I do? And like, you know, I think I managed to kind of, yeah, and I did. And they were just like, well, that's what a guy doing a marketing thing would say, and just
Can't win.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
And then when I finally made a whole explanation, like, no, I'm not working with Konami. This was just for fun. They got mad.
But then a lot of people just appreciated it for what it was, you know, and just.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're all going crazy from being stuck inside for too long.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You might have added some fuel with that one little tweet. You kicked off a whole nother branch of this alternate universe where Kojima's working on a horror game.
Now, don't you get it, guys? We're all in on it. That's how.
I know. Like the truth is out there. Anyone knows that's just from X-Files.
Yeah, exactly.
I swear
and
to
I was
God.
like, being silly.
I swear to God, if I wake up and there's a little Google alert that says something like Donna Burke and Tom Olson podcast, hint at Blue Box thing, I'm going to flip my desk and quit this job. Like,
Let's get the nautical guys paid.
You gotta laugh, you'd cry.
I just want to have a good time.
It did turn into a lot bigger of a thing than we intended, for sure.
dude, the road to hell is paved with
It's
the
nice
desire to have
that
a good
people.
time.
No, I just say, Nightshort. It's nice to know that people are taking notice of what you're doing.
Yeah. It's that's another curse of being an artist, is that anything you make is inevitably going to be misunderstood, especially if it gets popular.
Yeah, but that's a price. So first world problems.
Yeah, fair.
Meanwhile, some person's trying to get enough water to drink, and we're like, "Damn it, Twitter's just blown up!" And they're like, "Oh, I just wish I could have enough water." So
I'm getting
yeah,
more notifications than normal.
Yeah, perspective.
I mean,
helps.
if I told my mom about these problems, that's exactly what she would say. Is like, someone's looking for water out there, Chelsea. You need to stop.
Yeah, I mean, I myself have given my kids the there are starving children speech at dinner when they won't eat. So
yeah. My parents did the same thing.
it's a good line. Never
Well,
works,
guys,
but it's a good line.
Good to, yep.
Sorry, go
Good
ahead.
to hang out, and we'll all will be revealed tonight about the Blue Box conspiracy.
Yep.
Apparently. So, yeah.
Donna, thank you again so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
We've had a blast tonight. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, my pleasure, and thanks for asking me. And good to catch up, and stay safe, everyone. And we'll see you with the Richmond Symphony probably in 2023, and with the Nashville Symphony in 2023. And then followed by some chicken wings. Thanks.
Yes,
Right.
Absolutely.
Heard it here first.
Chicken sandwich. Sorry. Yeah.
hot chicken
Yes.
sandwiches.
Yay!
Bring a glass of milk. It's hot.
Yay!
And if you wanted to plug your social media, your channels, your podcast, if you wanted to do that, you can.
No, darlings, they can just Google me.
All right, sounds good.
Someone just said that to me, like, can you send me a link to your performances? And I said, just Google me, darlings.
Perfect. Y'all know her.
Yes.
It's Donna
Just
Burke.
Google Donna Burke. Some people think I'm arrogant and I can't see it. For the life of me, I can't see it.
I think this podcast
All right,
just proved.
Bedtime for some of you?
Yeah,
well,
it's
I
getting pretty
just
late
had some
here.
caffeine, but yeah, I guess so.
All right, thanks again, Donna.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right, and
Give
Thank you
Archie a
very
kiss
much.
for me.
Again,
Good
so
night,
much,
Donna.
Donna. That was an
Donna.
honor.
Out.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye.